are two main elements to a warm-up: blood flow and mobility. Calisthenics involve a lot of hand balancing movements, so our main priority is to warm up our wrists. Wrists are the foundation of all calisthenics exercises and have the potential to move in different angles and directions when warmed up properly. So to prepare them for our workout, these are the two main exercises to do. Starting off with blood flow. Jumping, jogging, or skipping on the spot is the quickest way to get warmed up and blood pumping through your body. If you have a skipping rope, definitely use that, or just keep it simple and jump on the spot until you feel nice and warm. Wrist flexor and extensor stretches. Now these stretches target the muscles on the front and back of our forearms. Hold your wrists in different positions on the floor for 1 to 2 seconds. Make sure your hands are constantly moving, so your fingers are facing you, they're facing away from you, they're facing inwards towards each other, so they're constantly moving. You'll feel the stretch in your forearms as your wrists start loosening up. Moving on to wrist rotations. Rotating your wrists in circles is the best way to bring blood flow to the area. Do this for 10 to 15 seconds. Now using a resistance band or literally anything like a stick or piece of clothing, we are doing shoulder dislocations followed by shoulder rolls. Doing these will improve your shoulder mobility as well as stretch the muscles and ligaments around your shoulder blades. Do each warm up for 10 to 15 seconds until you feel any tightness release. Keep in mind you should not feel fatigued during your warm up because you don't want to be tired before you even start the workout. So make sure you're warmed up enough before we start the workout. Now, if you can do these easily, you're going to do 3 sets for 8 to 10 reps. But we're not going to be lazy and have bad form when we do these. We want to make sure our scapula is engaged so we are getting the most out of the exercise. So no banana backs. Instead, you want to focus on retracting and protracting your scapula. This is protracted, this is retracted. When retracting your scapula, think of pulling your shoulder blades back and down towards your spine, while protracting your scapula is pushing them away from your spine. This is how your push-up should look the entire time. This might feel uncomfortable at first, but the more you're consciously correcting your form over time, the easier it will feel. Now, if push-ups are too challenging, what you will do instead are negative push-ups. A negative is the eccentric part of the movement. In this case, the down part of your push-up is the eccentric. To do a negative push-up, you are going to lower yourself slowly until your chest touches the ground. Don't try to push yourself back up. Since this is just a negative, we will only focus on the eccentric part of the movement. Do this for 3 sets of 5 to 8 reps, or to the most amount of reps that you can, and take as much rest as needed in between your sets. Now, if the negative push-up is too difficult, you should start on an incline to make them easier. Basically, a wall will be the easiest version of this. Then you can gradually go down to a stool or a platform, to a chair, so you're lowering the incline each time to make it more difficult, to eventually the floor. Next, we are doing a pull exercise, and of course, pull-ups are the best example of this. As a beginner, I don't expect you to do 5 to 10 pull-ups, but if you can, then you can do your working set of pull-ups for 3 sets of 5 to 10 reps, or until failure. Now, for complete beginners, you will be doing 4 progressions, which will help you work your way up to your first pull-up. For your first progression, you will be doing the bar hang. You might also refer to this as a dead hang. This is a whole body isometric strength exercise. These will build the necessary stability and strength in your shoulders, arms, and back, which will dramatically help you in your pull-ups. Depending on your level, do this for 5 to 10 seconds or until failure. Scapular bar pulls. This progression is a mix of the bar hang and scapular retraction. So retract your scapula while hanging on a bar. Have your shoulders in line with your ears when doing this. Depending on your level, do this for 5 to 10 reps or until failure. Third progression, chin to bar hold. You can use a resistance band or a platform to help you get your chin to the bar. This is an isometric exercise since you'll be holding the top position of the pull-up. Aim to hold this position for 5 to 8 seconds or until failure. Now, our last progression is the most important one and cannot be skipped. Negative pull-ups. As we talked about before, a negative is the eccentric part of any exercise. In this case, the last phase of the pull-up is the eccentric, as you are going down from the bar. To do your negative, you must slowly descend from the top of the bar. You can use a band or a platform to help you jump to the top position of your negative. Your body weight will be enough resistance to challenge you on your way down. Do this for 3 sets of 5 reps. Inverted rows will help you build your back strength, which will benefit your pull-ups as well as your posture. Like you did in your push-ups, you want to retract your scapula while doing your rows. Make sure your elbows are going directly behind you and not flaring out too far to your sides, and keep them close to your body. Be conscious of your scapula being engaged during the entire exercise. Your row should never look like this. So if you feel your back losing its scapular retraction, roll your shoulder blades back into position and continue your rows. The height of your rings will dictate how difficult your rows will be. For example, the lower you are to the ground, the harder they will feel, and the taller you stand, the easier they will feel. Having your legs bent will also help you perform your rows easier, versus strictly having them straight will make it more challenging. For complete beginners, stand up taller while doing your rows. Focus on squeezing your back at the top of each row. Do these for 3 sets of 8 reps with 2-minute rest in between sets. To make it more challenging, lower your rings so you are closer to the floor with your legs straight. You can keep your legs bent or straight out depending on your level, doing the 3 sets of 6 to 8 reps. Now we have tricep dips. We're finishing off with a push exercise. Use any platform where your arms can bend at 90 degrees when doing your dips. Make sure to also engage your core. Your dips will be easier if you bend your legs and more difficult with them straight out. So depending on your level, you can choose to have them straight or bent. Do these for 3 sets of 8 reps. Now if tricep dips are too difficult, you're going to do tricep negatives. Just like we did in every other exercise, we're doing the eccentric part of the movement. Do this for 3 sets of 5 to 8 reps.